Battlegrounds Season 16, which is the next one. We're still in 15 for 24 hours. We've got a meta information. We've got a store upgrade, mainly as a Valiant store introduction. So, look, here's the thing. As I did say at the start of the year, one of the reasons that I pushed for getting myself through free-to-play, getting 100% Necropolis and getting myself Valiant is that I knew something like this would happen, and it's just been kind of, not it's getting worse, but I knew that it would be a case the progression titles from Paragon to Valiant are going to start this. It's not fully apart like this now, but it is at the point where it's stretching apart. So what is available at Paragon and what is available at Valiant, you're going to find more stuff available. We're going to see when I do a crystal opening, daily crystal opening on Thursday, I think it is, we'll get a real sense and a real idea of what it means to be Valiant, and as well open up daily crystals. But look, meta-wise for Season 16, looks to be... what have we got here? Okay, so the victory track, first of all, is whenever a Mystic attacker... Let's get the pointer in. There we go, the red pointer. Whenever a Mystic attacker nullifies a buff on the defender, they inflict a neutralized passive of 30% potency for 20 seconds. Whenever a buff on the defender is prevented by these neutralizers, the attacker passively gains 3% of their max power. While the attacker is close to the defender gains a fury buff every 3 seconds, increasing their attack by 10% permanently. Staying far away from the defender causes those fury effects to gradually fall off. Sorry, I always need to make videos like just after I've eaten or something and then try to record. It's because I'm doing a lot of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, anyway, the defender gains plus 50% attack for each buff on them. The attacker starts with their spirit gauge at 50%. Of course, it's a normal thing. Yeah, okay. That sounds fine. It's Mystic Champions now. Have Kabam got to do something about Battlegrounds? Yes. Is it something of... is it... People talking about rewards. I tell you what, at the end of the week, I'm going to make sure to kind of keep locked to MCOC Avenger on Twitter because he puts together the results for Battlegrounds. I'm interested to find out if there's been a fall off, a drop off from that particular game mode, but we'll cross that bridge for an interesting video towards the end of the week, especially because we've got new announcements of sagas coming at the end of the week with the live stream. So that's going to be fun. We'll be dissecting all that on the channel. But in any case, back to this. Again, reading again. Whenever a Mystic attacker nullifies a buff on the defender, they inflict a neutralized passive. And then whenever the buff on the defender is prevented by these neutralizers, the attacker passively gains 3% or 3% of their power. Okay, so Mystic Champions all the way, where this month was about, or this Battleground season was about skill champions. Break out your Mystics, everybody, and bring them to the game because they're going to be, you know, fun. From Gladiator Circuit, which of course there are some people that do get into them. Gladiator Circuit, well done. We have got 0 to Hero and I think 0 to Hero, isn't it? Just 0 to Hero for the first 1 to 2 weeks, which is the defender gains 50% of attack for each. No, it's not that one, was it? Yeah. No, it's there, isn't it? Silly. Every 15 seconds, the defender gains an indestructible buff and unblockable buff for... these buffs are paused indefinitely unless the attacker is close to the defender. So be close to the defender, but also that's a bit risky. You may look to have champions that are suppressing those. Your Doctor Dooms, your Wiccans, your and this list goes on. There's so Black Widow Clairvoyant, so many. I think it will be, and we'll discuss this in a video. We'll look at options probably Thursday, I want to say, where we look at use champions that are nullify immune. That may be the case because at least in that circumstance, they're going to be annoying. Does mean that there's going to be certain options that are going to be counterable, but I think it will be, people may go outside the box. For example, I've got Hulkling, I've got Gallant. Okay, fine. I will still use the same Mystics as I've always used, but in fact that will be champions that gains buff, so I'll try and do the neutralize. but then instead it may not work because of whatever reason. But instead of you thinking I'm going to use that, then instead I'm going to use this champion, which is just a general pest, like Maestro that some people have, or it's kind of like Photon. Oh, don't worry, I'll still bring a champion that's able to do certain damage because by throwing special attacks it's not punished the same way as this month by having things like the Plasma debuff or what was it, Power Sting debuff or whatever it was. You see what I mean? Without going into too much detail and kind of explaining that particular point any further, you think of a counter, someone's going to counter with a counter, counter the counter with a counter, but look, and then we're at a certain situation where people are we're in over our head. Like, anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, another video, and we'll go into more detail. So, of course, store update. Season 16 marks the introduction of a Valiant Battlegrounds store. We're also targeting an update to the Battlegrounds solo event with Season 17. Great, finally going to get buffed. And to Alliance event in Season 18. As always, these timelines and targets can shift, but as of now, that's not what we're aiming for. The problem that we've got a lot of time at the moment is, depending on what kind of alliance you're in, you may have not a restriction, but you may have a target of points you have to achieve. Trying to achieve that is really difficult, especially because people are having to force themselves to play a mode that maybe they don't like, and that's fine. Look, if that's something within your alliance, I'm trying within the next 24 hours to do as much Battlegrounds grinding as possible. It's been, as I said, it's just trying to find the time for another mode in amongst other modes, and especially if you're not winning all the time. I'm not saying personally I'm losing all the time. I'm probably at the moment at a point of grind where I'm like 80% wins to 20% losses, if I'm looking at it that way. But that's not the same for everybody, and people may be like, well, I might have to kind of like rethink what I'm doing with stuff. By the way, shout out to somebody called Azerb, who very kindly gave me a free win. That was massively helpful. You didn't have to do that, but thank you so much for doing it. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know if it was by accident because it looked like something may have happened, but thank you. You did actually massively help me out more than you might know. But any case, like, it's just, I'm glad Kabam are looking at this stuff now. It's just a case of like some damage is obviously being done to the mode, because there is rumor, and I need to find out if there's fact around the rumor that there's less players taking up the mode and playing it. A lot of people are just playing it because they have to play it. Yes, there's people that like it, and I'm not disputing that. It's just a case of Kabam wanted this mode to succeed. It is meant to be the sort of competitive mode, but some players are going away from it. Now, it could be impacted with the fact that in the start of the year, there is a big tail off from the game where people just go, do you know what? I'm going to take a break for a while. And they come back towards the summertime, and especially when the rewards get good towards the latter point of the year. That's the time to really play MCOC. Let's now look at the store, because this is the one where, you know, we need to make sure that there's been some changes. And of course, what we'll do is flip between the post and also what is in game. So we'll do that right there. On the offset, I don't actually see any kind of like noticeable changes. From a tier 6 class catalyst perspective, its purchase limit of 10 and 5 respectively, it looks like it's exactly the same. It's really hard to get an idea of what exactly is changed or has changed with the Paragon stores, if there is. I don't think there is. So again, we're having a look here. We'll make sure that like I'm either right or wrong about this. So going into game, I think it's the relic shards that have kind of been bumped up. Let's have a look. No, it's not. Relic shards haven't been touched. I think it's all the same. It looks pretty much all the same for Paragon. I think it's Valiant that you're going to see some differences. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip between the Valiant side of things and what you get. So 7-star shards, which is always glaring at me. I'll have a look at, have a look at the other stuff. Is 5-star shards, 70 apiece. Okay, let's kind of like have a quick look at that. 5-star shards, 90 apiece. So there's a 20 saving on that one, with a purchase limit of, well, 50, same. Yeah, slight saving there. Tier 5 basic fragments, 40 per piece. Which you can see there, and then on to 40 per piece of tier 5 basic. Yeah, there's a saving there, a dramatic saving to be honest. 130, Richard, 140 right there. The 1,006-star shards is now down to 390 right there. That's a saving of 70 per each one. So, I mean, today I bought a load. It's kind of annoying because before this was announced, I actually spent a load of trophy tokens on 6-star shards for the 6-star featured. It's annoying with that, if I'm being honest, but, you know, it is what it is. Save your trophy tokens now then. I guess that's going to be the message that I'll give you. 6-star signature stones, 50 a piece that you can purchase at 100 in game currently, 360. See, 6-star signature stones have been massively devalued, literally blasted off the face of the planet right there. Fully formed tier 6 basics and tier 3 alphas at 2,320 and 2,320 per piece. You can purchase 10 of them. That is pretty impressive. So I don't know if you saw that. It's right. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. It's probably glaring me obviously somewhere. There it is. Right there. That's really good. The relic shards. Relic shards, I again would assume to be kind of nerfed into the face of the planet when it comes to value, because there's no value to them because everyone has them. Then there is. You can get 175 for 40. That's a massive reduction. I want to quickly actually go up to the Paragon one just to make sure there's not been any kind of like drop off on the pricing scheme. Essentially, it's kind of made 340 per. No, it's the same. I think Paragon's got. I mean, Paragon may feel they've got shafted. I think Kabam's message to everybody is become valiant, and become valiant by here's the things that we're dropping you as a teaser of how to get it. As I said, unfortunately, how do you become valiant in 2024? At the moment, either wait till July and do some of the Winter of Woe and other stuff that Kabam are dropping, or 100% Necropolis. It kind of puts some exclusivity. I think this is what Kabam were kind of looking to do, and I've seen a lot of people do that. So fair play to anybody. 7-star shards. The increments increased. So they're now up to 1... it's down. No, it's gone up by like 100. Yeah, it's gone up by 100. 7-star shards right there where the arrow is. 1930. We're going to get some math for you as well with that, because I'm sure that people will be interested. Some math with that. So what do we get? Also purchase limit of 10. So of course 500 times 10 is 5,000. Okay, that's better than 1,500 currently on offer. But also it is 19,000 and 19,300 of trophy tokens. Not that. That's 100, not 193. It's 19,300. Is the cost for 5,000. Ain't too bad. Look, I'm sure people would like a lot more for a lot less. But if you're looking at the grand scheme of things, Kabam don't really give out stuff for free. So that's really it. If you are close to forming by 5k, you may be tempted to buy it. I'm just saying. Okay. What else? 5-star relic shards. We're looking at 1,000 per piece per buy. Okay. 500 6-star relic shards, 970. It's increased the increments of numbers. I wouldn't buy any relic stuff. If you're Paragon as well, you may feel a little bit kind of like buy it. But yeah, at least kind of know that that's been ramped up in the volume you can take home by the spend. So that's positive news if you're interested in those things, especially like 6-star relics, because you can get 5 times 5, 2,500, 5 times 500, 2,500 total. Okay, tier 6 class catalyst selectors. That is very important as well, because we need that, and it's good to see that. Of course, expense wise, it may be a costly store, but this is good in order to see it. Oh, I should really put it back on screen. There it is. Sorry. So yeah, the tier 6 class catalyst selector, get 5 of those. Nice. 25% is a nice amount, so that's a good buff right there. And yeah, like fully formed tier 3 basic alloy and tier 1 celestial. That's good as well. It's very good for me because I honestly, like, this is the problem I have. Like, the amount of work that goes into ranking up relics just does my head in at times. So at least there is a higher volume of fragments on offer to do the rank ups of those particular items. So positive. But what is everyone else's thoughts on this matter? Put it in the comments section down below. And it looks like with Season 16 is when we are getting this store improvement. With Season 17, the solo event improvement, and from an Alliance event perspective, Season 18. At least this means that it could be more interesting for alliances and players to participate again with it. But there is a lot of stuff that's still problematic with it. The process, the progression, and I'm not saying Kabam should make it easy. The problem is they made their game very grindy. I mean, it's very grindy. It does take away from like people's time. I know Kabam don't like mentioning people's time, but you use time to play the game. So it's like we can't use time in any other way to play this game bar playing the game. They get that right. In any case, thank you very much for watching this video. Positive news, but you may feel a little bit, you know, meh when it comes to some of the store stuff. Thoughts in the comments, thoughts on the meta. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.